We have a decision. We have a decision in the Supreme Court case about the health care law. Will Obamacare live or die? Well, of all people, Chief Justice John Roberts siding with the liberals. It survives. So there were several different parts of this bill. First of all, they could have struck down the entire bill. They did not. They could have struck down the mandate. They did not. They said, hey, you know what? We don't think they have the power to do this under the Commerce Clause, but, at least John Roberts said this, but it can be considered a tax, and a tax is perfectly constitutional, so it survives. They struck down a small part of it, which is Medicaid expansion. The states get to have a choice on whether they go along with that or not. That might affect some people in the country. They might not get health care coverage because of that, but overall it's a smaller portion of the bill, so it largely survives intact. So, what are the implications of this, and am I happy or not? First of all, Chief Justice John Roberts, who of course is conservative and has ruled conservative almost in every case, gets to rule conservative for the rest of time because he can always point back and go, come on now. On the Affordable Care Act, I voted with the liberals. I'm the most moderate man alive. And forever, Washington pundits will consider a moderate based on this ruling alone. And it is a perfectly political decision in that he, gets to say, hey, you know what? Look at this. I voted with the Democrats, and the court was not partisan. And he made sure of saying that in the decision. You see how this is not about partisan politics, right? Now, of course, as I said, it buys him leeway to be conservative with every other decision in the world. And at the same time, it's actually a pro-corporate decision. Remember, the mandate is a conservative idea originally, cooked up by the Heritage Foundation, supported by Richard Nixon, George H.W. Bush, Mitt Romney, etc. It forces you to buy corporate health insurance. So it's not like Roberts actually violates his ideology. His ideology is pro-corporate. It's a pro-corporate decision. So it's a win in a lot of ways. Now, does that mean that I'm against the decision? No. I will take it and run. Look, I don't like the mandate. I've said it a million times. I think it's a right-wing idea. There's a lot of this healthcare law I don't like. I'm really split on it. But overall, a win is a win. And I'll tell you why. I think that if the Supreme Court struck this down, there would have been a general hopelessness among Democrats and even progressives that would have been really hard to overcome. It would have seemed like, God, no matter what we do, they find a way to strike it down, whether through politics or the Supreme Court, etc., and we can't seem to win. And I think that that would have been devastating. So we avoided that. There's elation on the Democratic side. I think they should be a little bit calmer than they are. But you know what? It's much better than the alternative, which honestly would have been complete despair. So now the other thing is you win by winning. And it's a small victory. The insurance companies are still in charge. They can still charge you whatever they want. Nonetheless, I'll take it. It's much better than a loss. So I'm in favor of the decision. I think it was the right thing to do. And then finally, the conservative reaction is hilarious. So Mitt Romney goes out there and says, can you believe they ruled a mandate constitutional? But you had a mandate in your bill in Massachusetts. I mean, is there no bounds of hypocrisy here? And look, the other reason I'm happy about the victory is because there are good things in the health care bill. That's why I'm split. Split doesn't mean I'm totally against it. The things that I like in the bill is it covers pre-existing conditions. You know how popular that is? 82% of the country is in favor of that. In fact, going to the conservative reaction again, if I was President Obama, I'd be like, oh, now you want to turn the campaign into about this issue of health care? Have at it, Hoss. I'd love to do that. I'm going to concentrate on pre-existing conditions. You are against everybody being covered on that. I'm in favor of everyone being covered for it. I've got 82% of the people on my side. You want to roll? Let's do it. Let's do it. You turn the election about it, and I will kick your ass on it. So look, 82% agree with us on that. I agree with that. It's great to cover pre-existing conditions. You know you're about to get $1 billion rebate. Not all of you, of course, but about 13 million families, because a part of the law is that insurance companies must spend 80% of the money they get from you on your health care. They can't take it home in profits above 20%. There's management and marketing within that 20% too. So they have to actually give you a $1.1 billion rebate. On average, for the average family that gets a rebate, it's $151 in your pocket. So there are very good things in this bill. You get the rebate, you've got the pre-existing conditions, and more people are going to get health care. it looks like about 30 million people. The Medicaid provision might affect that a little bit. But overall, let's see if it can work. And I hope that in the end, that this health care bill actually proves me wrong. That it starts to get implemented, and step by step, we get to a much better place. Something like Medicare for all, or maybe even single payer. I don't know if it's going to go there. I don't know if it's going to work. But I do know that I'd like to give it a chance. And I didn't want it killed in the crib here. And the Supreme Court avoided that. So I'm elated on that count. And then finally, speaking of conservative reaction, a lot of conservatives tweeting today that, I'm so angry about Obamacare. I'm moving to Canada. Where, of course, they would have socialized medicine. Never underestimate the stupidity of conservatives in America. All right. Victory in America today, though.